Hello, boys and girls. I hope you had a lovely, wonderful Christmas day and that Santa came. Just to finish off your day, or if in the next few days you'd like to just sit down and chill, I'm going to read you a story. Are you sitting comfortably? Then I'll begin. This is called Spiderman Liam Goes to Santa's Rescue. Once upon a time, there was a boy called Liam who lived in Avenue Grosvenor with his mummy and daddy and baby sister Elsa. Christmas was coming soon. Liam was trying really hard to be a good listener to his mummy and daddy. It wasn't always easy when mummy asked him to wash his hands before coming to the table to eat, or to get dressed when all he wanted to do was to watch Kipper and Peppa Pig on TV, or Spiderman, or Paw Patrol. It was hard too at Rainbow Garden when Liam had to tidy up, when he really wanted to continue playing with his friend. Liam loved to dress up. He liked dressing as a prince and rescuing the princess. He enjoyed dressing as a wizard, singing magic spells like Salagadoola memchikaboola bippity boppity boo. But his absolute favourite was Spiderman outfit, which Grandma Mary and Grandad Mike brought to him from Ireland. He even wore it to Rainbow Garden and to ballet class. Liam admired Spiderman. Spiderman was strong, and Spiderman was agile. He could climb walls like a spider and throw a web to capture a bad guy or to rescue a person from an upstairs window. Spiderman would say, "With great power there must also come great responsibility." One day, Liam was in the park, dressed in his Spiderman outfit. He was on the swing, enjoying going up and down, higher and higher. Suddenly, he heard a squeaky voice beside him. He was startled and turned to the voice. Sitting on the next swing was a little girl. She had pointy ears and wore a red and green pointed hat. On her legs, she had green trousers tucked in to long brown boots with a black buckle and the pointiest toes Liam had ever seen, which curled up at the top. "Hi, Spiderman," squeaked the little person. "Hi," said Liam. "I'm not really Spiderman. I'm just pretending. My name is Liam." "Are you an elf? Because I saw a picture of someone who looked just like you in a book." "Yes, I am an elf, and my name is Reltine. Pleased to meet you, Spiderman." Reltine stretched out a hand to shake Liam's hand and said, "I have a problem, and when I saw you dressed as Spiderman, I knew you might be able to help me." "What is the problem?" asked Liam, very curious to learn more. "The problem is this," answered Reltine. "You know Christmas is coming very soon, and Santa and all his elves, including me, are very busy trying to have all the toys ready for all the boys and girls. The problem is worse this year because the elves have got the sneezes. One very naughty elf sprayed Peppa everywhere, and every time they try to work, they start sneezing, and tears flow down their faces. They have tried to clean it up, but it's just everywhere and no one can really see it because it's invisible. Santa's very worried that the toys won't all be ready in time for Christmas. Do you think you could help Spider-Man, Liam? I sure would like to try, answered Liam. Lead the way. I've got Rudolph round the corner with a sleigh. He'll get us to the North Pole in double quick time. In they climbed, and Rudolph took off like a rocket. They flew over parks and houses, lakes and rivers and mountains covered in snow. In a very short time, they landed on the snow, beside a wooden chalet lit up with bright lights. Inside was a huge room full of all sorts of unfinished toys. There were lots of elves sitting around outside, coughing, with water streaming from their eyes. Mrs. Claus was busy in the kitchen. Santa was sitting by the fire with his head in his hands, moaning, "Oh, oh, oh." Relthine went up to him and tapped him on the shoulder. "Santa," she whispered, "look who I brought here to help us." Santa looked up. He spotted Spiderman Liam. "Oh, by the holy fly," he shouted. "Oh, ho, 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 this is a wonderful surprise. I am so glad to see you, Spider-Man." Before Liam could answer, Mrs. Claus came in and announced that lunch was ready and invited everyone, including Liam, to sit up at the table. There was a huge pile of sandwiches on an enormous plate in the middle of the table, and bowls of hot chicken soup and glasses of milk for everyone. Santa, Reltine, Liam, and 10 more elves sat at the table and began to eat heartily. Liam was put sitting beside an elf called Noah and another one called Phelim and a smaller one called Abby. When their tummies were so full they couldn't eat another crumb, they sat back and Santa told Liam about the problem with the pepper and how worried he was. "I think I can help you," said Liam. "Show me to the workshop." Relthine led him to the workshop, where Liam had seen all the unfinished toys, but he didn't go in as he didn't want to start sneezing again. Liam noticed amongst all the toys there was even a Spider-Man scooter, which he thought looked pretty cool. The pepper didn't bother Liam. He cast his web around and around and around. Then he climbed up the walls and out onto the flat roof and shook that web. A cloud of pepper appeared and was blown away by the wind. Liam folded his web, put it back in his pocket, and climbed back down. He went to the kitchen saying, "That should solve the problem." "That is fantastic," laughed Santa. "Relthine, gather up the elves and get to work. There's no time to be lost. Come on now, Noah and Phelim, no time for playing football. Abby, come along, get the music sorted." From every corner the elves came singing, "Hi ho, it's off to work we go. We work all day, we get no pay. Hi ho. Would you like to be an elf and sing along? Hi ho, it's off to work we go. We work all day, we get no pay. Hi ho. Well done. Even the naughty elf, whose name was Mischief, joined in and worked hardest of all, after saying he was very sorry for all the trouble he had caused. Santa was so happy that he sat down and cried into his big handkerchief. There, said Mrs. Claus. "Here's a small glass of orange, Santa dear. It will help to settle you." "Thank you, Mrs. Claus. I don't know how I would ever manage without you," blubbered Santa. When Santa had calmed down, Spiderman Liam said, "Santa, I need to get back home now. My mummy will be wondering where I am." Of course, replied Santa. He rang a bell and Relthine appeared. "Relthine, will you take Spiderman Liam home now, please?" Of course I will, answered Railteen. But before I do, we have another problem Spiderman Liam might be willing to help us with. Do you remember we got letters from some boys and girls in those apartments near Churchtown? We think Spiderman Liam would be a great help getting the toys to those children. Would you be willing to help Spidey Liam? Asked Santa. Sure I would, said Liam, but you see, I will be going to Ireland for Christmas with my mummy and daddy and baby sister Elsa. We are going to spend Christmas with my Grandma Mary and Grandad Mike. We will be in Delaford Drive in Dublin, Ireland. I wrote you a letter to tell you. Of course you did, I remember now. I am getting a little forgetful, but Rilteen will always remind me. So don't you worry, Rudolph will collect you on Christmas Eve from Delaford in Ireland. Bye for now, see you later. And Liam climbed into the sleigh with Railteen and Rudolph. And Rudolph took him back to the park. His mummy was still sitting on the park bench with Elsa asleep in the stroller. It's time to go now, she said, smiling at him. You look like you were someplace else when you were on that swing. I think you fell asleep. I was someplace else, said Liam. I went to the North Pole on a sleigh with Rudolph and an elf called Railteen. He asked me to help Santa with a problem he had with the elves. He asked me because he thought I was Spider-Man. That was only a dream, laughed Mummy, but a very wonderful one. Now let's go home. You must be hungry after that long journey. Liam didn't feel at all hungry, because after all he had eaten soup and sandwiches with Santa and the elves. Or was that really only a dream? He would find out on Christmas Eve if Rudolph called for him to help give out the toys. In the meantime, he was going to be a very good listener to his mummy and daddy and his baby sister Elsa. And he really hoped he was going to see the elves, Noah and Railteen and Phelim again. I hope you liked that story. So, good night now if you're on your way to bed. And don't forget to thank Santa, because he does a fantastic job every year, making sure the girls and boys have some of the toys that they like. So, until I see you again, be good and be happy. Lots of love, Grandma.